Hey, everybody. Welcome to UnplugIT. I'm your host, Stephen Rose. Thanks for joining. A few weeks ago, I was fortunate enough to get to go to the Microsoft 365 Community Conference in Orlando. And while it was so great to catch up with so many of you, I did get a chance to sit down and do some interviews with a series of company owners and IT pros and MVPs to ask them my favorite question: what's keeping you up at night? So over the next few weeks, we're going to take a look at those interviews, starting with this one today. Enjoy. All right, we're here with Michelle Caldwell. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Stephen. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell everybody what you do.
So I am the CEO and founder of Synozur Alliance. We focus on strategy and design consulting, and we help our clients understand kind of what their vision is. Let's say for Copilot, right? We're here this week. It's all about Copilot at M365Con. So in respect to that, getting alignment across senior leadership of like, what does it even mean to say we want to have AI in our organization? What are the use cases? What's the value? What's the human factor of change that needs to happen?
Right.
Just where Stephen comes in quite often. We work together. And then understanding the value measurement of that, right? How do you sustain adoption, multiple plateaus over time in that journey of AI?
Yeah.
So that first plateau is not the end.
It's not.
Right.
It is ongoing. And we had talked about there's always that cycle of pilot, plan, deploy, manage, secure, adopt. And it's always going around. There's always new people entering at whole different areas and with a variety of different experience levels. So, besides having a booth and looking to meet customers and talking to folks, what else are you looking to get out of this week while you're here?
Community connection. I mean, that's why a lot of us come to these shows. Been in the community for
what does that mean to you?
2 decades.
What does community mean to you? I mean, this is a community conference and I get that, but what does that mean to you?
It means a couple of things. So I'm always interested to see what new partners in the ecosystem are doing. Like there's so much innovation just on this expo hall floor.
Yeah.
That wasn't here a year ago. So I come to learn about all of that because you never know. Someone might be solving a problem that one of your clients is having or one of your partners is having, and you just need to make a connection or better understand. There's obviously a lot of Microsoft people here this week. Yep. So reconnecting with some of those leaders and understanding Copilots, many Copilots. So There's an awful lot of innovation happening in engineering.
And there's a lot of great MVPs here who are getting some great real world experience. Both you and I know and have a chance to sit down and understand what's keeping them up at night. What's keeping you up at night? What sort of stuff are your issues or your clients having that goes like, I wish Microsoft could do more, or a third party could come in and do this, or I wish there was an easier way to solve this for people?
Yeah, I think, and there are some people solving pieces of it, but the end-to-end of like data governance, content governance, the problem's been around a long time.
Yeah.
But I think that customers who truly adopts Copilot or anything that is near knowledge and content AI, it's going to be a forcing factor to really have to look and address that problem in a holistic way.
Yeah.
So like, for example, I've sent a bunch of people this week to find Chris Portlick from Microsoft.
Yeah.
To go see what autofill for lists looks like, because there's some ways to apply autofill to help with some of this. And then there's other partners on the expo hall floor, ISVs, that have other point solutions that help start to solve that problem.
Right.
But I do wish Microsoft was looking at the more end-to-end holistic. I mean, we're in the Content AI Partner Program, which is meant to bring partners together to look at that more holistically. But there's still gaps, and archive and backup, right? I feel like there's a lot of
missing tools that Microsoft does not have that you need to pick a good solution, and it's working with trusted partners, vendors, and MVPs to figure out what some of those are to do that. Yeah.
Solution to solve that problem is where I think the complexity. So I think about that a lot because our clients that really are excited about this space, they are in pilot mode, but they're sometimes like kind of afraid or have concern that if I go enterprise wide, what am I going to expose? Right. What about all this old content I've been holding on to?
Yeah.
I haven't archived. I haven't really looked at. I just moved it to the cloud and hope for the best. Like some of that is
Yeah.
that needs to start getting really looked at. So
What do you think is, let me phrase that differently. I had a great question that just flew out of my mind, and I get to edit this, so it's
I
fine.
know that's why I'm not worried about
That's the good thing. What do you, okay. If you're sitting down with a client for a first time, what are the three kind of key things that you want to land with them when they go, hi, we want to do Copilot? What are like the three things? Because I talked about, earlier having good Teams usage and going through all your data and stuff. But what are like the three things that you say, look, these are kind of the three key pillars that we have to have, and from there we can build upon?
Yeah. I think for us, the definition of leadership alignment and what that means when you say that.
Yes.
Because I found this, if I bring, okay, a leader says, we want to do this. And I go, okay, was your steer co around this as an organization, other senior leaders in your peer group, their parts of the business, does that definition that you have match what they think? So getting alignment across
Got it. Yeah.
your leadership team about what does it even mean for them to go on that journey?
Right.
Alignment there.
And what the expectation is of when they arrive at the journey, and also how to track it, if you're on.
Right. If you're on
Right.
track, if you don't have the same definition of good or done.
Right. Or what success looks like.
Or
Exactly.
That looks
Yeah.
like, or who's most ready and why, or where are we going to start? All of that to me is table stakes of readiness.
Yeah.
Technical readiness is really important, but if you don't have the leadership readiness and alignment, this could be great.
Yeah.
And it may be seen as a failure. It didn't quite deliver, even though this definition over here says it did. But like maybe the COO doesn't believe that's true.
Right.
The CHRO, that means different things to different people.
Okay. Number two.
Understanding that prompt engineering is a starting point, but not an ending point. So that skill set's important to start.
Right. You can have one or the other. You can't have both. You can either say, we want to be done by this date, or we want to start this date, but you can't really pick both.
That's a great skill to have on the journey, but that kind of always got like the first plateau of like, we've done a good thing and people are understanding how to prompt engineer.
Right.
That's one skill in the toolkit
Right.
for AI. You shouldn't stop there.
Yeah.
You can check the box and say, we're at this point, that's good, but don't stop there, because
Right.
the real value is what comes after
Yes.
as the organization matures and thinks about how to apply different kinds of AI to solve or innovate in the business.
Right.
And that comes at a different maturity stage.
Yeah. And it may not even be AI. It could go, you know what? A Power App will do this really, really nicely. We don't need to go down that route. So it's also understanding, again, what the goal is and what success likes, rather than try to put a square peg in a round hole and go, yeah, we'll just AI it. And that'll be great.
Just SharePoint it.
Right. SharePoint it, AI it.
There we go.
That'll be good.
Just do some SharePoint.
And then your final kind of thought around that.
I think the final point there, in a lot of organizations I talk to, are if they haven't rethought it, they're rethinking it now. What does it really mean to have a help desk, a support desk, the people that sit in the chairs and try to help your employees support the technology or adopt the technology?
Yep.
The whole reanalysis of, do we want people that wait for the phone to ring, or do we want also
Right.
people that have skills and job titles that match? Yes, I can do that, but I'm going to go out and understand the business and understand where my knowledge can be plugged in to help a department optimize something that we already have, so that we don't have square peg, round hole problems everywhere. So I think that just the upskilling and organizational transformation around what it means to have a support desk or a help desk or a team that does that at the rapid pace of innovation that we're all experiencing right now, it's something people really should be looking at if they haven't already. And if they have, they probably have to revisit it. But
Right.
just that shift of like mindset for
Yeah.
support.
And that's going to change over time as well. It's important to go back and revisit it and make sure that that framework still fits.
And make sure the metrics match the outcome.
Yes.
Call time is not going to get you a better outcome for your people
No.
if that support specialist can't spend the adequate time because their measurements say they shouldn't, right?
Right.
So how they're measured is another thing.
Yeah.
that
It's
gets-
the quality and depth of the service as well.
Right.
One final question that's completely different, but you and I both had life changes and started our own things around the same time. And what I want to ask you is, as a business owner, as a female business owner, what have you learned over the last year that you would say to somebody who's thinking about setting out on their own, starting their own company, especially as someone who is a very well-respected woman in the community, has good depth of IT knowledge? What would you say to folks out there?
Don't do it alone. Don't do it by yourself.
Always good. Yes,
You and I know that.
we do. Surround yourself with people that you trust and work with customers that you like.
And outsource expertise.
Dang.
I have amazing business attorneys that help me make sure when I set my business up,
Yeah.
set it properly. Good advice about what category of business type to have. I have great accountants that help us.
And you have some super smart people working on these projects that are just top of their game and really bring a lot of unique perspectives to things that I like. And sometimes there's some, I don't see it that way. We don't, but I think it always ends up becoming a positive and getting something interesting out of it.
And I think being intentional about the culture you build, and culture builds over time, but we were very intentional about the kind of culture we wanted to have and attract people that may not want to be full-time employees, but are really, really smart,
Right.
bring stuff to the table, and they want to work with other smart people. And just that culture of respect and collaboration and transparency, it was an intentional choice for us.
Absolutely. No, you've done an amazing job in a little over a year and have courted and started working with some really amazing clients.
And
And
we're fortunate for that.
it wasn't fortunate for them, but you had a really good plan and surrounded yourself with really smart people and knew when to step back and when to step forward and when to be demanding and when to not. And that comes from a lot of experience, which you've had in spades in the past. And I think you brought it to something that's not just powerful, but I think really special. So I think it's great. How do folks learn more about you and Synozur and all the great stuff?
You can find us at Synozur.com. They can find us on, Twitter's now
X.
X. You can find us on X and LinkedIn. Our LinkedIn page is probably our most active social channel,
Awesome.
which may not be a surprise for most, but
You never know.
you never know. I don't have a social engineer yet, so our social can be a little
Hit and miss.
quiet for a while and then
Got it.
really active. But yeah, our website or LinkedIn is one of the best ways right now.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Everybody, Michelle Caldwell.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for the time, Stephen.